Friday futures day trading with the expert Confluence day trading strategy. So in particular, I'm looking at Friday, the 10th of October, when we had a reaction to Trump China tariffs statement, if you like. And what I wanted to do is go through two trades that I took that were Confluence trades with the setups that we're going through. So first of all, standard setup for our Confluence. Bottom right is our roller coaster on a higher time frame than the top right, which is the expert algo. They have the VWAP predator on the top left, and then the bias depth heat map on the bottom left. Remember, these have to come in sequence. The main part is the anchor strategy. That has to come in first, and this is what we get here around about 1506. That's that anchor strategy coming in first. Then we get the expert algo coming in. Then we get the VWAP predator coming in, and the VWAP predator is that momentum indicator. It's almost, it's given that force to that move, that increased directional flow. Looking at all the time that the bias depth heat map, when we get that last signal coming in, is 6 out of 6, a really, really good strategy. The timeline for this, again, it's not scalping, it's day trading. So at 1506, the anchor strategy comes in on this chart here. Then the next strategy, the expert algo, comes in 6 minutes later. And then 6 minutes after that is 1518, is when we get that final piece of the puzzle and we go to look for that short. And again, at that same time, on the anchor strategy down the bottom right, we must ensure the price action passes this start line for the roller coaster. That's our fifth ingredient, if you like, and it did. This is YM, the Dow Jones futures on Friday the 10th. So this is zoomed in a little bit and talking about trade management here. And so let's remind ourselves, we got that entry when we broke through this point here, and that last piece of the puzzle, that VWAP predator. Then what we do is we follow the anchor strategy trailing stop position here in the red down here. But because it's a Friday, we do not carry this trade over. Remember, Friday, we do not carry it over. A lot can happen in the world over the weekend, and it can really spoil your account. So just before the close, we want to take that trade out. So this particular trade was 651 ticks. Let's work that out in real terms. 651 times $5 per tick, $3,255 profit on this particular trade. The catalyst was that news announcement by Trump. But the trading is all about building that Confluence strategy, putting those time frames together on different time frames to get that confluence, that move, that understanding, getting that anchor strategy early to see there's a potential move getting on, and then all of the stars aligning to give you that trade. And this just didn't happen on YM. It happened on S&P E-mini futures as well. So let's go through this process. We have the anchor strategy coming in first, which is the main rule. But this time, the VWAP predator came in. Then the expert algo. At this stage, all 6 time frames are red. We're good. Look at the timeline for this. So the anchor strategy actually came in a lot earlier than the previous YM trade. So it spotted that confluence early. 1442 was that first. Now this time is UTC time, because I have all my charts on UTC. And then at 1500 hours, we got that VWAP predator. As long as the bias depth heat map doesn't change in the meantime, the expert algo is the last one at 1512 this time, and we get in. So we get in slightly later at this point here. You can see on the top right, my 6-star sell signal, was here. So when that candle closes, in reality is our trade, and that sort of goes down to this point here. Still a decent trade. In slightly later, but the risk is quite small there. So zoomed in a little bit here. Again, remind ourselves our entry at this point here. We must get that confluence before we go. We got to get all the stars aligned, if you like, to make sure that directional flow is strong enough to take us where we want to be. So then we get those trading stops being printed so we can adjust and lock in profit. But again, just before the close of this session, because it is a Friday, you must close out your trade. This particular trade was 670 ticks. That worked out in real terms is 670 times $12.50 per contract. I mean, this is a one contract. That's $8,375 profit per one contract for this trade. So this, with the YM, is it's over $10,000 profit for that one trade on this confluence strategy. Now, my time frames for NQ and RTY did not take any trades because the rules were not met. The rules were met for YM and ES after that reaction. So this is why I took those two particular trades, but also to ensure we don't carry any risk over the weekend, we close them before the weekend. So this is the XBRAT day trading futures strategy. It's a confluence strategy, and check out the links below because we have a link for explaining that confluence strategy in more detail, but also a link for that software that's included in that confluence bundle to allow you to trade and take trades like this. And remember, confluence is about quality, not quantity. If we don't get another trade for another week on ES, that's fine. We're only looking for confluence. We're looking for quality. So check out those links below, and I'll speak to you all really soon.